Driving home, I was listening to the Chris Williamson podcast about high agency, and I had an idea to talk to on my ride home, and they were talking about high agency, and then they started talking about the example of the guy on the left, guy in the middle, guy on the right. Guy on the left, he doesn't have the ability to think too much, so he has a simple conclusion, right? So he says, make what people like. And then the guy on the right thinks so much, he articulates things, he breaks things down fully, and he gets to the conclusion, make things everyone likes. And then there's a guy in the middle who I don't know, he's like not smart enough, so he tries to justify himself. So he goes, I'm gonna learn this subject in school, so I'm gonna go to college to spend 4 years learning this subject, and by the time he gets to his conclusion, he's wasted years of his life without doing stuff. And what I hear all the time in the self-help space and in the psychology space is you have to just start, and you have to do. And today, the whole day, I was thinking about people, because I had a bunch of conversations with people, or not necessarily conversations, because I wasn't participating, I was just listening, and people were talking, and I just realized and had the thought going in this morning that people just talk too much. People talk too much, and they don't do enough, and the things that they talk about, they're typically not doing. I won't describe that anymore, even though I could go on for days about that idea. But so that's why I'm filming right now, because I want to talk about my day, and I want to tell you what I had to drink, and there will probably be some anecdotes and stories along the way, because I'm a human and I have stories to tell. I want to get better at communicating, and so this is a way to do it. It's simple, it's easy, it's quick. I'm in my car. It's Kanda in the Camry. What's up? Recording on GarageBand, got a Rode mic, plugged it in. Can't hear myself speak. It looks like it's peaking actually terribly, so I should probably not speak as loud. I don't know if that's because of the car volume or what, but yeah, we're in Dallas, Texas. It's 2025. I'm 25 years old. Just got off a 10-hour shift, 11-hour shift at Moravian. Pulled a double. I was scheduled for a mid-shift, and then both shifts before and after asked if I could take their spot, and I said, why the hell not? So I want to talk firstly about what I had to drink today, and it'll probably bring you along the journey of the experience of the day for me. I like food, I like trying new foods, and today it was one of the first days where we had released our seasonal specials. So we have summer drinks at Moravian, and they're all very unique, almost to a fault, which is kind of sad, and it probably won't sell as good as it should for the uniqueness and also the flavor, the taste, the experimentation. But a lot of people were asking about it today. I posted a video on Moravian's Instagram about the miso caramel hojicha, which hojicha is a roasted green tea. I won't go too far into it. If you want to know, DM me, I can send you that video, or you can find it yourself. Anyway, so to start the day, I got there in the morning. I pulled up with Trey. I slept at his house because I don't live in Dallas, so sometimes he lets me, a lot of time actually, like at least once a week, he lets me sleep over so that I don't have to drive as much, so I can save gas money. And we drove in together, opened the shop together, and I wasn't really hungry this morning, but one of the customers brought in donuts for whoever was working, and it was only going to be 3 of us at the whole day, and she brought us 6 donuts. So eventually the first thing I had was one of the donuts with a drip coffee, and Trey had one of those as well. It was very good. Donuts just seem to bring out the flavor of coffee Chocolate also does that. Chocolate chip cookies. When you have something sweet, sometimes if it's too sweet, it will take away. I think will take away the taste of coffee. Like it will just taste like nothing because it's so sweet. But these donuts weren't too sweet. They were fairly light. So that was nice. Sun setting. I can take these off now. And then we sold tacos. We sell tacos. And at a certain point, we were down to like 2 brisket tacos and 4 bacon tacos. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the tacos that we sell right now. But I like the brisket. So I tried one. And I opened it up and I was like, whoa, this is different. This looks better. It was like juicier. And I tried it and it was better than it typically is. And I typically don't have one. And I had it with the red sauce and it was very good. And what did I have to drink? Hey guys, I'm in my room right now. I remember what I had to drink. I had a white coconut tea from this tea brand based in LA. It was very subtle, so I didn't really like it because I couldn't really taste it, to be honest. But it washed the taco down real nice. Now back to this loud version of me. Just say it was water, which is good. Good brisket taco. I'm talking about what I ate during my shift at work. It's so funny, bro. I did work too. I could tell you about that. I made some vanilla syrup and mocha syrup after Trayvon left. The morning was nice. The morning was consistently busy but good. I only had like 5 hours of sleep, but sometimes I can perform really well with such little sleep. Trayvon yesterday worked at 2 shops, so he was very tired and was pretty much done by the 3rd hour of the morning. At one point we had a big rush and I started pulling shots and I nearly crashed out because I pulled 3 shots in a row, and sometimes I think it's because of how I put the puck in. The puck holds the espresso beans, like the espresso grounds, and I don't know, for some reason you have to put it in a special way, and it's not just, you don't, like, sometimes if you put it in hard enough or far enough, you think you're good, and on some machines you are, and that's what it requires. But on this machine, it doesn't always require that. Like sometimes I push it real tight, but it's put in maybe like at a weird angle, and so water comes out the edge. Anyway, I was so frustrated because this happens to me all the time. I never see it happen to anyone else, and no one's explained to me like how to actually do it. And I asked someone today to explain it to me, and they didn't explain it. So I'm still on my own. But 3 times in a row, and it was a big rush. And so I was like about to crash out, and there was a window, and I wanted to get them their drink, like drive-through order, and I wanted to get them their drinks quickly. And sometimes I get frustrated when it should be easy, it should be seamless, and maybe my coworker is not doing what they should do. I also know Trey's probably gotten mad at me for not doing what I'm supposed to do. Today I also prepped a drink for the window because in my head I wanted to get them their drink as quickly as possible because I don't like the cars sitting there. I want to get the cars out as soon as possible. It just doesn't feel as like a person, like you came into the store, you can wait, but if you're in your car, I feel like I want to do my best to get it to you as fast as possible, because I mean it is hot too, like you don't want to just sit there in the heat. Anyway, at one point I poured some syrup for the car, and he was like, can you make these drinks in order? And sometimes I lose that focus. I'm not fully paying attention, and I want to get better at that in general. I think when you're at a job, especially like a customer service job, it's a weird balance because people are welcome to speak to you because of the nature of the job. Coffee is a very sociable job, and so, but sometimes I can't have a conversation with you, and I'm getting to the point where I don't care, or at least, especially with the people I don't want to have conversations with, I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna make your drink, I can't talk to you. And I need to get better at actually telling people that, like not necessarily telling people I can't talk to you, but just be like, hey, maybe a cursor, like, I'm not gonna look at you, because actually don't talk to me, because I need to focus on making my drink. Genuinely, like, I can't, if you're talking and I'm making your drink, first off, I want to make your drink as good as I can. You talking to me is distracting me from giving you a good drink. So it'd actually be better if you shut the hell up. I'm just kidding, it's not that harsh. Like, if you would shut up so that I can focus. I think noise is so pointless sometimes. I think my friend in Greece, his mentality over there somehow is shifting overseas, and it's changing my mentality. I feel like I'm becoming monk-like in my thoughts. He's like teleporting his thoughts to mine. But I just think, especially in America, and I think you'll see this in other countries as they speak about Americans, they're like, Americans talk too much, like, you don't always have to break silence. And I completely agree. Like, I think small talk is beautiful and there's potential with it, but I'd rather just not. I'll say, how's it going, like, have a little conversation, and if it goes further, it goes further, but we don't have to go back and forth. We don't have to really talk about this. Let me make your drink, let me do it to the best of my ability, and if you want to talk after, we can talk after. But also, I feel like people just need to, if you're listening to this, please be self-aware. Like, if there's someone behind you. Today there was a lady who, she was really cool. We were explaining some of the drinks, and she noticed that someone came up behind her, and she was like, oh, someone's behind me, let me not. And so she decided on what drink to get, and she got a matcha, and it was great. And then we kept talking after we got the other guy's drink. That's incredible. That's how we should be, like, aware of our surroundings. If there's no need for you to hold up a line, don't hold up a line. If there is no need, and for the most part, and for almost in every situation, there's not going to be a need unless there's an emergency. So just learn self-awareness. Observe your surroundings. Observe it. Observe. Anyway, so sometimes I, like, come across as aggressive. I don't even talk to people like this. Like, I don't talk to people in real life like this. I think for some reason, this might be, like, dystopian and terrible, but this cell phone is like an ear that I rarely get to have, because so many people are so quick to speak and so quick to reply, and I think we just need to relax, man. Like, you don't always have to add a comment. You can just, and I mean, honestly, if you're watching this video, I don't need to tell you this. If this is a waste of breath almost, because I'm gonna attract people that are like-minded in my regard, who listen well, who want to be great, who are self-aware. So I'm not even gonna harp on those kinds of ideas, because they're elementary, surface level, and if you don't get them, if you don't already understand them, you never will, because you're a baby. So I just think we need to be better at listening in society. I love this. I'm talking about drinks, and then I get into philosophical conversation. I want more people that are philosophical. I want to be surrounded by more people. Almost, because oh my gosh, am I a freaking bird? Because I was just talking about how people talk too much, and philosophy people talk way too much. Like, we don't actually need to discuss the society, government, Jaden Smith. We don't need to talk about it, actually. So I want philosophical friends, but I want self-aware friends. I don't even know if I want friends, to be honest. So that's kind of besides the point. Okay, let me tell you. I'll let you in on a little secret. I would love, and this is up to me. This is up to my consistency of doing this, but I love listening to podcasts. I love certain people, and there are seasons for people that I have. So right now I'm listening to the Beer Sauce podcast, which I don't necessarily recommend because it's all brain rot, but they're funny guys and they're chill. And Madeline RG, I think, her podcast looks sick. She's in a car, so I'm in a car. I didn't steal this from her. I just am in cars a lot. But like, if I can have a podcast that gets to that level where people care, I'm not even comparing myself to them, but just that idea of having a podcast that gets a lot of listens. And that'll take my consistency. I'm not even asking that of you. I'm kind of just telling you like what I envision partially. I don't even really envision anything, like I said in the beginning, the first minute. I'm not here to envision. I'm not here to take apart. I'm here to do. I'm here to be, because doing and becoming is greater than thinking and pondering and planning. Vision. Without a vision, the people perish. A vision is a game plan that you actually engage with. It is not a dream state. To engage in prophecy, for prophecy to work, you have to engage with it. You do not just hear it and it happens. You have to engage with it. And that's something actually that I think America gets wrong with Christianity. I am so freaking all over the place. My mom has ADHD. I don't think I have ADHD, but the way I speak is it's like Kanye West. It's so all over the place. He's definitely a better communicator than I am, but I apologize, man. I need to really like hone in, focus, but maybe I just call this ADHD. ADHD, David, that's my name with a D. Okay, what was I even saying? And I don't have ADHD. I'm not grabbing onto that. I'm just saying I go different places because freaking I don't have a game plan. That's what I was talking about. Like, without a vision, the people perish. I think American Christianity is so bad because we don't understand the idea of obedience. We're so grace focused, we're so faith focused, but it doesn't make sense to be grace and faith focused when 90% of your teaching is on 50% of the issue. You're terrible at your job, right? So I'm saying faith and works it's 50-50, and when 90% of your communication is about one, it's going to be spoiled. You're an extremist, conservative, delusional human being, barely human being, because you're corrupt by ideologies that are evil. I'm preaching and I freaking bro. Anyway, I don't even know. I'm preaching and I'm not even trying to preach. I don't vibe with preachers. You know what I'm saying? That's what But how did I even get here? I'm just saying, like, you need to work. You have to put work in. And I think I struggle with that. I struggle with that massively because of my upbringing in Protestant Christianity, because I don't talk about work. Practicality is an illusion to the Protestant world, and this is a huge issue. It's a terrible issue. And I find myself cringing whenever I come across arguments in the Protestant world of the faith, whether it's two men who are religious or one religious and one non-religious. It's just freaking spitting into the wind. It's a waste of time. It's vanity. Because why are you arguing? Why are you talking? It's not about your words. Jesus spoke in parables. What does this mean? He was mysterious. He didn't give you the answers. Why? Because you need to experience. You have to go out there and freaking do it. You have to put the work in. You have to make the lattes. You don't get better at making lattes unless you make lattes. You don't become a singer without singing. And I think that I'll round it out here, but like, people who make it, right? They have no time for your BS. Celebrities get chased around by paparazzi asking them dumbass questions. The celebrity, for the most part, probably has excelled at their craft because they've done their craft. When you ask a musician, you know, when did this song come about, and like what was the moment? 99% of the time, it was not a special moment. They are just good at what they do, and so is it a natural result of the time they've put in? Is the result? Frank Ocean's album is a beautiful masterpiece. It doesn't matter how he made it. You don't have to peek behind the curtain. You don't have to ask him, like, how did you feel? Like, it doesn't matter how he felt. It doesn't matter how you feel. It matters if you did the work or if you didn't do the work. And the work will prove itself. It's the fruit in the religious Christian world. You don't get fruit by talking, by preaching, by praying. You excommunicate me. You don't get fruit by praying. You get some fruit by praying. You can only get rid of these demons by fasting and prayer. But that's an action. Fasting is an action. It's an action of inaction. Type. All right. Anyway, like I'm fiery about this. I think you can see through the words of people easily if you just pay attention to it. Like, people who talk about things over and over again, they talk about those things because they struggle with them the most. So there you go. You know what I'm struggling with. You don't know what everything I'm struggling with probably, but you know I struggle to do stuff. You know I'm in my head because right now I'm even talking about doing stuff. I mean, I can't do stuff right now. This is a good use of my time, actually. I'm learning to communicate properly, which is actually doing something. At the same time, I'm pondering, articulating, which at times is so valuable. But I just cringed today when people spoke. Not everyone, and not every word they said, but there were just moments where I was like, why are we speaking? Silence, you know? Humble yourself. Shut the F up. Like, we don't have to fill the air. Because I'm tired of talking. And I've said this before, but I really am tired of talking. And I think, like, I'm fairly introverted. I'm like omnivert, you know. I'm a chameleon. I can put me anywhere, baby. I'll thrive. It's like, nah. Everyone will, though. We are chameleons. Put anyone in any situation for enough time, and they will become excellent. And that's what I'm talking about. You keep yapping, you're not going to become a better communicator. I just negated my whole point. But just because you talk doesn't mean you're good at talking. You have to be strategic as well. That means you got to shut up and study and then speak. Okay, I'll say two things. I kind of want to not talk about things that I'm not doing. Like, unless I did it, unless I have experience in it, I almost don't want to hypothesize it. Like, I almost want to ponder the hypothesis, but not give it out into the world until I have actually done it for myself. I probably won't do that, but I think that's a really good idea. It's like a discipline. Other thing I'll say is, like, you don't get muscles by doing the same reps. You have to lift heavier to build muscle. This is the most random thing. I just talked about health, mental, psychology, philosophy, religion. Bro, only thing I didn't do is rap. What am I talking about? Solitude is good, bro, but definitely make sure you're getting around people because if you're too solitude, you'll lose your sociability, and that's not good. You need social skills. There was a point in my life where I spent a few weeks alone, and I was weird. I came out of it, and I was like, I didn't know how to make jokes. I'll leave you with that. If you're not funny, you're not intelligent. If you're not funny, you need to work on that. Humor is a big sign of intelligence. And I asked ChatGPT. I didn't see the answer yet. I put it in my phone, and then there's 20 minutes left to work. Put it in my phone, put it in my pocket, because I didn't want to read the answer yet. I need time to process the answer. You want to know what I asked? I asked ChatGPT, how do I stop laughing at things that aren't funny? I'm pissed because I do that so much. I laugh at things that aren't funny because I'm giving them a pity laugh because I'm like, oh, that's so bad. They need to know it's bad. Actually, they need to know. You need to know that you're not funny. You need to know. Am I Canadian now? Oh my gosh. You need to know that you're not funny, and because you need to get funny. Because if you're not funny, you got you're socially inept if you're not funny. Genuinely. It's why people who get older, this is one of my theories, people who get older become less funny. Why? Because they become habitualized into, that's not probably not even a word, into the things and the frameworks of their mind that has already existed. And so because they aren't changing, they aren't growing, expanding, their humor stagnates, and then they're stuck in old humor. That is like, humor is always evolving. Memes, they're always evolving. And so it's actually good to have brain rot. It's good to be brain rotted, bro, because it's a sign of intelligence. Because if you can use it correctly, though, you gotta be intelligent. If you can use the brain rot intelligently. I was watching, bro, I freaking shut up, dude. You said you were gonna end this 10 minutes ago, but this is fire, isn't it? Leave a like in the chat if you think this episode's fire, dog. Oh, I also had a coconut espresso americano, coconut water, espresso, and vanilla. Yeah, with a bacon taco. Ooh, I had 2 tacos. I can't lie. What was I gonna say? It was so good. Okay, I was listening to Trevor Noah. Sick dude, bro. Sick comedian. Not comedian. I don't really know if he's that funny. I don't know him for his humor. I know him for his philosophy. And he's so intelligent. I think I saw him in New York one time. There were like a bunch of rats like running around, and then I looked up and Trevor Noah was there, and he was staring at me, and I was like, oh, that's Trevor Noah. And I wish I actually went up and spoke to him, because he seems like very intelligent, and I would have loved to just have a conversation. I didn't know that, though. I didn't know he was this intelligent, right? Anyway, he was on a podcast. He was talking about, no, he wasn't. It wasn't even Trevor Noah. It was the crazy comedian guy who does the talk show, who just like does outrageous things. He was on Conan, and he was like, hit it 2 times to the band, and they did dun dun, and then he's like, hit it 3 times, and they dun dun dun, and then he's like, hit it 100 times, and he's like dun 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 dun, and then like Conan stopped him, and I was like, that was so funny for no reason. It was so simple. What I realized is comedy is so simple. Comedy is taking little things and twisting them, and so it's a sign of intelligence, because you know how far to push it. So I actually need to get better at being funny, because I feel like strangers don't get my humor. Like, strangers don't, and I think that's cool, because like when people are that borderline, like you don't really know if they're funny, those are some of the funnier people, especially when you know, when you can catch on and you know they're being funny. Actually, I think it might be better when it's mysterious and you're unsure, because it adds to the reality of it. Anyway, humor is very intertwined with depression and reality and life, and so if you're not humorous, then you're probably not intelligent. I actually stand by that wholeheartedly. I'm not even going to say, like, not everyone's funny. I think, like, Elon, what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg. I didn't watch the interview on Theo Von, but he does not look funny. And to me, that's a sign of unintelligence. Like, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg is not intelligent. I mean, what has he done lately? Does he own Facebook or what? He made Facebook, right? It doesn't mean you're smart. You made a freaking website. Yeah. I stand by that. Anyway, I'm going to stop. Free Palestine once again. Peace.